Hello there, people. My name is Sho, and welcome to another episode of Game Things. First up, set in Mars, Fort Solis, a third-person sci-fi narrative thriller, will begin its nerve-wracking exploration on 22nd of August this year on the PlayStation 5 and PC. This game is from the new and independent studio called Fallen Leaf, led by studio director James Tinsdale. And one point that I do take note from James is that the choice to go for a third-person perspective in Fort Solis is to be able to deliver a one cutscene experience between the transition from cutscenes and the actual gameplay that many of the successful AAA games out there does, which in this case, he gave God of War as an example. He also noted that key sequences will be one of its core gameplay, which they took inspiration from God of War and The Last of Us 2, and implement this gameplays into the interactive fiction game. A good example for this type of gameplay would be games from, unsurprisingly, PlayStation, whereby players will have to hit a certain key all while the action scene is happening. And speaking from experience, games like Detroit Become Human and Until Dawn both have that. Not to mention, the butterfly effect seems to be a thing in Fort Solis as well, because they did talk about how your actions, interactions, and choices will ultimately impact the conclusion of things in the game, with a small number of very different endings. All in all, this game definitely sounds promising, but in terms of how the game will actually play out, being a person I am who is always skeptical on sci-fi games, I chose to remain cautiously optimistic on Fort Solis. And with that, let's move on to the flash news. To those who needed something that resembles the Pokemon franchise to enjoy, Temtem was released as an early access title starting at $35 and was then moved to a full release back in September 2022 for $45. If you're snatching this game on sale solely for the single player experience, I would say it is still a great buy. And to those who wanted to battle it out against other players in Temtem, the developer Crema had just launched its standalone game Temtem Showdown, in which it is 100% free to play, focuses on PvP battle, and everything can be attained without paying a dime as far as I can see. Unlike in original Temtem, where players will have to catch up and train their creatures, players can get right into the battle action without having to worry about levels and such. Enjoy both casual and competitive mode in Temtem Showdown. So, if all you want is a PvP battle creature from Temtem, do check out Temtem Showdown, which is now available on PC through Steam. EA, on the other hand, is splitting into two separate organizations with the goal of being able to make faster and more insightful decisions around developments and market strategies. EA Games, which was then renamed into EA Entertainment, will be the company led by President Laura Meal, managing the known franchise including Apex Legends, Star Wars games licensed by EA, and Battlefield. Their lifestyle franchise and the blockbuster single-player experience, I believe they are talking about Mass Effect here, will also be under EA Entertainment. The second organization, EA Sports, will be led by President Cam Weber, with responsibilities to lead anything sports and the racing portfolio of EA, which includes the Need for Speed franchise. If this decision results in better quality games by EA, I'm all for it, and I wish the companies all the best on their future games developments. I know it's copium, but maybe, just maybe, we will get a good FIFA game release whereby the majority of the FIFA game players can all agree on. As for those who are craving for more VR games to play, Meta is introducing its VR game service called the MetaQuest Plus, in which subscribers will have access to 2 handpicked VR titles each month. There is an introductory offer of $1 that run until July 31st, 2023 to the new users out there for their first month of subscription. And once the first month offer is done, users will be subjected to $7.99 for every subsequent month or $59.99 for its annual long subscription. Given the not very big library of VR games we have today, I don't think it's worth it, especially to those who already owns majority of the VR games, because if you happen to own the game that MetaQuest Plus is offering in that particular month, well, congrats! You get to enjoy the VR game that you bought outside of the subscription and nothing more. Games remain accessible for as long as you keep your subscription active, and one last note, this service is only available to the owners of MetaQuest 2, MetaQuest Pro, and the upcoming future VR headsets from Meta, basically giving a cold shoulder to the original MetaQuest owners. As if it wasn't obvious, the upcoming Starfield is indeed an exclusive on the Xbox platform and PC. And the upcoming Indiana Jones game by developer at Machine Games, which is under Bethesda Softworks, aka a subsidiary of its parent company ZeniMax Media, who is also under the umbrella of Microsoft Familia, will turn out to be an Xbox and PC only exclusive. The Xbox and PC exclusivity had started rolling and the games are coming out left and right. I believe there can only be more in the coming future, so brace yourself for more Xbox exclusives, and hopefully they can let the PC gamers tag along as well. Coming to the shorter news, if you can't get enough of Atomic Heart, probably Nora and just Nora, there is the Annihilation Instinct DLC, which will be coming out on 2nd of August this year. Check out the short 1-minute release date trailer and you will see the upcoming enemies, weapons, and glove abilities that are coming with the release of this DLC. BattleBit Remastered is a low-poly, multiplayer first-person shooter that took the charts by storm. The game had received more than 90% positive reviews from its 26,000 users on Steam as of today, which is astounding, especially the fact that it all happened within a time frame of a little of more than 2 weeks since release on June 15, made by a small indie team of just 3 people. At this point, I'm starting to take block-looking games more seriously. If anything, I guess BattleBit Remastered once again reassures that there is a big audience out there who cares more about the gameplay, and a good game doesn't always need to strive for crazy visuals and graphics. I might give this game a try because from what I've seen, the gameplay seems to be very well received by its player base. Last but not least, a mention on Tower of Fantasy, a free-to-play game on PC and mobile, but will cost you $10.99 US for the standard edition if you so choose to get the game on PlayStation. Tower of Fantasy is coming to PlayStation 4 and 5 on August 8th, 2023, with support for 4K and DualSense haptic feedback. For some reason, you can pre-order the game with Deluxe and Ultimate Edition, both granting 48 hours of early access and a little variation in terms of your in-game bonus. I am against paying to own the game at all, but if for some reason you just need it on the PlayStation, I'm not gonna judge. Anyways, I've previously played up to the island update and decided that I've played enough as I don't see the daily grind to be particularly rewarding, personally. But who knows? Give it a try and you might find yourself enjoying more than you initially thought. Coming to the game releases of this week, you can check out Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, a classic puzzle-solving mystery adventure game. Personally, I won't buy it on day one because the price is not what I'm expecting it to be at $30 US, but, a very big but, is that I've never played on a Nintendo DS, so I don't really know what to expect from the game. However, a quick lookup on the internet tells me that there are abundance of positive reviews about the DS copy of the game. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is made available on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC on June 30th. Then we have a Nintendo exclusive Master Detective Archives Raincoat, released on June 30th as well. I'm looking to buy the Mystery Full Edition of the game, however, the according to the developer website, it seems like the Mystery Full Edition will only be out 2 weeks after the official launch of the game. Nonetheless, I'm a fan of the Danganronpa series, and because I can see some resemblance in Rain Code, I'm definitely giving this game a try. Never thought I would enjoy playing visual novel games as much as I do today, but here I am. As usual, on the Epic Games Store, you can claim yourself a free copy of the Dungeon of Nihil book, The Amulet of Chaos. That name is Chaos. This is yet another tactical RPG with grid-based combat available to claim starting now until July 6, 2023. And that marks the end of this week's episode of Game Things. Before we end, once again I want to remind the gamers out there, Koei Tecmo Summer Sale on Steam is happening, with the sale lasts until July 13, 10 AM Pacific Time. So get your Atelier games, Wolong Fallen Dynasty, Neo, Fatal Frame, Attack on Titan, Fairy Tail, and many more with discounts ranging from 25% to 75% off. Consider giving this video a like if you find it helpful, subscribe and click on the bell if you wish to receive notifications whenever we have a new upload here on YouTube.